Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Garage Topics. Today's episode, we're gonna go down to good old Georgia from Kentucky. So it's about a 5.5 hour drive. It's raining, it's 5 a.m., kind of tired, but we're gonna pick up another vehicle, I believe. As long as it's good, so let's go take a look.
East toward Georgia 92 South.
Alright, we picked her up. It's crazy. And look at the rear view. Oh man, that thing is looking stanky. I call that the Stankmobile. Oh, I've been driving forever. Oh, you can kind of see it back there. Pretty dope fresh. Alright, I'm ready to get home. It's been, it's definitely been over 12 hours. It's been 13 and a half hours of driving, but Club Duty Fresh. It's Club Duty Fresh for life, you know? Made it back. Looking fresh. Hard to see out in dark, but that was a 14-hour round trip. But she's here and looking fresh. Thanks to Tacoma. Tacoma did great. Alright, it's day 2 now. Back home. Yesterday was a pretty long day, 14 hours, but went by kind of smooth because you're kind of excited about what's going on. We're in the barn here. I'm planning on fixing this up a little bit in the summer, but this is where she's going to live. Let's go take a look at this thing. This is a 1976 Chevy Nova 4-door. I think it's a base model. It's got an inline 6 automatic. The main reason I went so far out of my way to get it is because it has a really cool patina to it. This brown is kind of sentimental to me. My first car was a brown car. It was a brown C10 pickup. It's got this brown and it's got this light brown, cream, weird looking top. I thought it was a cover, but it looked like it's painted. But the rust-wise, it's very minimal. There's just small little pieces every now and then. So I'll do something to fix that, but otherwise I'm going to keep it as is. It's got mismatched hubcaps. The interior, though, is something else. It was sitting outside for 9+ years, so it's a little rough, but actually it's in decent shape. The steering wheel is my first issue I'm going to fix. It is tacky and sticky, and it's pretty gross, and I wish the video would go over the smell of this car, but if you've ever been in an old car from like the 70s that's had a little bit of water in it, it's got that musk and mildew and old smell to it. Like, if watching Roadkill, I now know what those guys are smelling because it smells pretty janky in here, but it's all wind-up windows. I want to take a better look at this car from within the garage. I'll take it there in a second, but it's a pretty good home in here. We'll make it a little bit more weatherproof in here, but shoot, it's better than what it was sitting outside for 9+ years. This is a plastic piece that goes in between here. It looks like it's rust in there, but it's just the plastic that's gone, that's cracked and stuff like that. It was a brown plastic, so that's pretty easy to replace. Someone put a hitch on it. I thought it was just the bumper, but it actually attaches to the body. Pretty cool. And underneath, it's almost rust-free. It's in really good shape. It's a weird look to it. It's from the roof line here. It's got an Australian look, but back here it's got a pretty white trash look, and I kind of dig that. Alright, inside now. It's got some cassette deck. I sure hope I've got one of those cassette auxiliary jack inputs to play some fresh jams. The seat is disgusting. It's all cracked and stuff, but the foam in it is like a wash sponge. My butt basically comes to the floor. The headliner, though, is in great shape. Just got a little bit of a stank in here. I'm going to bring it in the garage and take a look over it. A lot of the plastic's super brittle, so it'll crack bad, so I got to be careful about that. Just needs a good cleaning in here. And you thought I was joking about the steering wheel? I'm dead serious. I'm going to wear gloves to drive this in because it is disgusting. Alright, I haven't started this thing up since yesterday, so this is a true cold start. It's got this annoying buzz, so apologize about that. But see if you see. Oh! Sounds like a fire alarm at a school. Alright, here we go. Give it a little bit of gas to start. Starts right up. She's a beaut. She's legit. Alright, let's go take this thing into the garage and take a look at it some more. She barely fits in the garage, but she fits. She's about the same length as the Tacoma, actually. Let's take a look at the engine. So it's a straight 6. I don't know the engine size. I need to double check that. Not too concerned. The big thing I wanted though is I wanted AC. This is an air compressor. I haven't seen the clutch turn on to make it spin, but it's all here. So if I ever wanted to make that actually work with this engine or another engine, it will, because AC is kind of its own beast. So I don't feel like messing with it. But it's got a new battery. I think there's a couple oil leaks, but for the most part, it's pretty good under here. Typically, these will rust out and stuff, but everything's solid. I'm pretty happy. In the front bumper, everything looks pretty good on it too. Hopefully you can get a gauge as far as this paint is like a dry kind of look, but I kind of dig it. It's got that patina for sure. And interior, as I mentioned before, it's pretty dry rotted, but it smells a little bit in here. It's a little bit stanky. You can see that's rusty, but not rusted through, so we'll get the water out of that as soon as I can. Back seat, where the action happens, a little bit gross. So although I want to keep this kind of stanky, I'm definitely going to clean out the inside because it smells pretty bad in here. Headline is all good, which is real nice. These wheels and tires have been sitting for 10 years almost, so we'll need to replace the tires, maybe the wheels, depending. There's different hubcaps. I just want to make sure that they'll hold air and won't kill me. But overall, you can kind of get a good gauge of what color it is in here. The color correction on this is pretty correct. It's a flat brown with a slight bit of a haze in this like other shade of brown, which is paint. I don't believe it's vinyl, so this thing is dope. Taking a look under the car, I mean, it looks rusty, but it's all just surface rust. That right there, those are the floors. I don't see any rust coming through that at all. I'm pretty happy about that. There might be some hiding up in here, but from what I can tell, it looks pretty good. Obviously, there's a little bit of a oil leak. It's nothing major though. It just looks like a weeping oil pan, transmission pan. Check out that. I guess that's a catalytic converter. I don't know what the heck that is, but it looks like a tortoise shell. Pretty funny. Rear's leaf spring suspension. Obviously all the rubber is completely shot, but for the most part pretty good. There's the front suspension for you, and that red shock means performance, so we'll be ready to take this to the road course and go 200 miles an hour in no time. But for the most part, you got a little bit of rust there, but I knew about that. All these like pinch rail things here are solid. Just small cosmetic rust like that there, which will stop it from shredding, but not worry about painting it because I dig it. Now, pretty fresh for a car been sitting for 10 plus years out in the field. Alright, this is the trunk untouched. I've not done a single thing to it. Obviously the weather stripping has seen better days and it's completely bad. So it's literally had a couple gallons worth of water in here. That, as far as I can tell, is just surface rust. And you'd think that the bottom pit where all the water's pooling would be rusty, but it isn't. So that's pretty good. It's another hubcap, legit. This rug thing is disgusting. It's like a shag rug thing. I don't know what it is, but it's freaking nasty. I'd think a bunch of mice would be living in here, but I don't see too much evidence of that. Like some old decrepit belts, random stuff in here, but it is nasty. So although we want this thing to stay a little bit stanky, that's got to go. We'll get rid of all the duct tape, get rid of all these leaves, because it just keeps moisture here and will rust it out. So I don't want it to rust anymore. I want it to stay good, so this will definitely have to be cleaned out. Why did I drive 700 miles to pick this up? Because it was 600 bucks. And money isn't everything. The main thing is that I wanted a car that wasn't molested in terms of someone's hacked it up, modified it like crazy, or a car that has just been completely neglected. It's totally rusted out, just not worth of anything. And this one hit the bill. I wasn't looking for it originally. It kind of showed up in my Facebook news feed. I don't know if you guys are using that now, but it's kind of taken over Craigslist. It showed up there, kind of presented itself to me. I made the call to get it. Super thankful for the owners that had it working out with me. If you're watching this, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. That's the deal with this. I think it was worth the drive. Based on what I've seen, it's extremely structural. I didn't want to deal with any major rust issues as far as it not being strong. And this is, as far as I can tell, solid to the bone. Pretty happy with it. I'll give you the lowdown on this car and why it's kind of cool. So, 76 Nova, it's a 4-door. You don't see those too often. I think that might have been crushed. I don't know if they made more 2-doors or 4-doors, but there's definitely a lot more 2-doors available. I don't like how those look as much as a 4-door, so kind of went with this one. It's a front engine, rear-wheel drive, which is pretty cool. This is the last of the Novas to be rear-wheel drive that stopped in '79, which means you can put a lot of different engine combinations in this car. The front suspension is pretty much identical to a second-gen Camaro, and the rear, I think, is identical to a first-gen Camaro. And some of the earlier Novas. It's pretty much a parts bin car, which is good because there's a lot of aftermarket support for Camaros, but not so much Novas. So we'll try and see if that actually is true. I've only known a couple people to do it, but it's never been stated anyway, so I'm gonna give that a try. If you've ever been to Australia or seen the Australian burnout competition cars, it's kind of got that vibe. I don't know if this will be a straight out burnout car, but it will be a kind of car just to have fun with, hoon around. Something can go down the highway fine, but if you hit the gas, it might spin the tires, who knows. You might be asking yourself, what the heck am I doing with this thing? It doesn't match any car that I've ever had, and that's for a good reason. Doing the King of the Heat stuff, which I've made videos of, you can go check them out. That's basically cheap, less than $1,000 race cars. It opened up my eyes that you don't need to spend a lot of money to have a ton of fun with cars. So the main focus of this car is to spend as little as possible to have the most amount of fun. I think people get a little bit too worked up on spending too much money to do something like, I can't go autocrossing unless I do this, this, this. I can't go drag racing unless I do this, this, this. We're probably going to do all that in this car as it is right now. We'll make sure it's safe, of course, but you don't need to spend a ton of money to make sure it's the best as it can be. If you ever watched the show Roadkill, I'm sure most of you have, this is the vibe we're going for here. Paint-wise, probably never going to touch it, probably never going to wash it on the outside. I like it how it is. The rust will stop that, making sure it doesn't rust anymore, but that's the main focus. Inside, clean it out. For right now, the engine is going to stay in it because it actually runs pretty good. So I want to tinker around with that, maybe do some videos about how to tinker around with a stock engine, make it faster. The plan is to either engine swap it or add power to this, seriously. So let me know in the comments what you think I should do. Should I go LS? Should I go small block V8? Should I turbo this? Should I put a 2JZ in it? Leave a comment, just let me know. I'm all ears. I'll take it into consideration and let you know my thoughts. But here she is. Want to do a video. I don't want to keep it a secret because I want to share the content on this on Instagram and Facebook, so go check me out there. I don't want to keep it a secret any longer because I thoroughly enjoy this thing, at least for right now. The big issue is going to get a title. Georgia doesn't have titles for vehicles that are older than 85, so it's kind of weird. It has a registration and proof of insurance and tags on it in Georgia, but no title, so it will come with a registration and bill of sale. Hopefully Kentucky will register it. This is 100% roadworthy as far as the title goes, 100% legal. Can't wait to have fun with it, so I'm going to share all the experiences here and hope you guys like it. That's all I got. If you got a stinky car, make sure your dog's stinky when it rides with you too, because that's what matters. I might need a seatbelt from though, who knows. Thanks a lot for watching. Let me know what you think. Peace out. If you don't, that's me. If you don't know what this Nova is, I'll give it to you right now. It's 4 doors. Right now, the typical guy is fine. Cut.